In most of projects I work on, I often find myself always needing the same string functions over and over again, validating emails, URLs, trimming spaces, converting between different case styles, parsing, etc. I would end up copying these functions between projects, which felt inefficient at all. So you might be wondering, why not group all these functions and put them in a GitHub repository, and each time you need them, clone it? Okay, that's a good idea, but I'm thinking bigger than that. So I said by myself, why not group all these functions in one single place, and why not make an independent npm package that includes all these functions? This is the born of a new npm package called strkit, which is called for strkit. So strkit is a library packed with common and useful string operations functions that every programmer will use. And you might be saying, why doing this package when there are already other packages that offer the same thing? Good question. Till now, I didn't find a single package that covers all these functions in one single place. Sometimes I need a function called X, I found it in this library. Sometimes I need a function called Y, I find it in other library. So I said to myself, why not group all these functions in one single package? And that's why I'm building strkit. strkit is a library packed with common and useful string functions that every programmer will use at some point. And the best part, first, is open source. You can contribute to the project. If you have some other functions, you are the most welcome. Second, it's an independent npm package. So, if you want to use strkit, all what you have to do is to install the package from your command prompt instead of cloning a GitHub repository. So we want to make it as optimized as possible. Third, it's optimized for both JavaScript and TypeScript. The functions are written in TypeScript and well typed, but using the TypeScript compiler, we export both JavaScript and TypeScript function, which makes the package used by all the developers. And the fourth thing is the documentation. In addition to the README file, the functions are well documented in your IDE. So as you see in the screen, when you hover on the functions, you see its documentation and a usage example. So let's jump into my computer and start building this project. So first, I open in the terminal that I'm going to make a new directory. mkdir strkit. Okay, now I'm going to jump into that folder, cd strkit. Okay, now I'm going to open VS Code from this current location. This command will open strkit in VS Code. Okay, good. Now I need to open the terminal. Then I'm going to initialize a new node project. Let's type npm init and wait for it. This command will generate a new package.json file. It will ask us some questions and we need to reply. Okay, version, description, I will type that later. Now, entry point, okay, test command, I have this now. Okay, repository is going to be my profile. Keywords, not now, author. License, gonna be MIT. Okay. Okay, good. Now, as you see, it generated a new package file. Okay, but we are going to update it anyway. Okay, so since I want this library to be widely used by everyone, there is no doubt that I'm going to add TypeScript support. So let's install TypeScript in our project. npm install TypeScript for development. Okay, and now let's wait. Okay, we installed TypeScript successfully. Now we need to initialize a new TypeScript project. So npx tsc init. Okay, good. So this command generated the default TypeScript configuration file, but we have to edit it anyway. Good. So since now we are using Node and we have the Node modules folder, there is no doubt that we are going to need the git ignore file because we don't want Node modules to be uploaded to Git or detected. So let's type npx git ignore. Wait. There is an issue. We need to specify the project type, of course. So let's check what are the available types. Okay. There are a lot of types here. Oh my god. Um, okay, we are going with Node. Okay, good. So I'll say Node. It will generate the template file concerning for Node project. Okay, good. So as you see here, a new file appeared called git-ignore, and it has all the files that need to be ignored by Git. Nice. So now we need to make some other changes in the package file and the TypeScript configuration file. So our tsconfig file needs to be like this. So here we specify the target, JavaScript, module, and the most important thing here is this, which is the declaration is set to true. That means that the TypeScript compiler needs to generate the interface and types file. Also here we specify the out directory, which is going to be dist, etc. So we have to make another few changes in the package file. Let's start by adding the main and the types. Main, it is going dist/index and not index. Okay. Index, no, it's going to be types index d.ts. Okay, so let me explain here. In the TypeScript configuration file, we specified the out directory, which is going to be dist. So the main file of our project will be under /dist/index, and the types, which is the declarations file, is going to be under dist/index.d.ts, which is the default declaration file for TypeScript projects. It will contain all the types and interfaces used in these functions. Okay, and last but not lastly, we need to add the build command. Let's say build, which will trigger the TypeScript compiler. TSC stands for TypeScript compiler. Okay, good. Now let's jump into the folder structure. We need to make a folder called src, and in this folder there is a file called index.ts and another file called lib. Okay, so let me explain the structure. Lib will contain all the functions, and the file index.ts serves to import all the functions and export them all in one. Okay, so let's start by creating a new function, for example, called isEmail.ts. Let's start typing export const isEmail. Okay, we added the email function. Now we are going to add another one called isurl.ts, and okay, good. Now let's import these functions and export them from the index file. So in TypeScript, there is a trick to import and export the file and at just one line. It's going to be like this: export function name is email, for example, from lib/isemail. Okay, good. As you see, no errors were shown. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the URL function. Keep one line empty. Okay, now we are going to test npm run build. Now we are going to trigger the TypeScript compiler to build this project. Okay, it worked. So as you see here, a new folder appeared called dist. This folder contains the index.js, which contains all the functions written in JavaScript. Here, the declaration file of the types that we specified here, and here, and here. We have all our functions built in both JavaScript and TypeScript. Is URL. This is the declaration file in TypeScript, and this is the function written in JavaScript. That's what we exactly want. Okay, so to make a small test and see if the types are working properly or no, which is very important for me, let's try to make a new file called test.ts. Okay, and I'm going to import a function from the dist file. Let's say import easymail from dist. Okay, no errors were shown, which is a very good sign. So I'm gonna console.log log easymail. I'm gonna keep it empty. There is an error. Expected one argument by got 0. That's what we are looking for. Also, as you see here, the declaration here, email type string, and it returns boolean. Everything is good. So now I need to add the readme file, a new readme.md file. Then I will generate that later, and we need to push the repository to GitHub and add more functions. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for your interest, and don't hesitate to contribute with functions to make this world a better place.